Angiras told Shaunaka, there are two types of Vidya. The knowledge of Brahma has said, there is Paravidya and Aparavidya. Knowledge of Brahman are seers of truth and have known both the Paravidya and the Aparavidya. Paravidya is the Paramatma Vidya, the absolute, the truth. Aparavidya is the dharma, the adharma and their effects, the karma theory, all those things and all the other sciences. But Shaunaka asked, by knowing which everything is known. Angiras does not give a direct answer to that. Shaunaka did not ask the two types of Vidya. By which one gets Sarvajnatva is the question. When Purvapaksha asked this doubt, we have to think that that doubt is not really correct. Because Aparavidya is avidya, agreed. By getting that alone, one will not become Sarvajna. That also we agree. But one who got Paravidya gets Aparavidya as well. It is easily made available. That means if you get Paravidya, you get Aparavidya also. If you get Aparavidya alone, you will not get Paravidya. So Angiras thus introduces the two types of Vidya to drive in the point in question. That is, only if you get Paravidya, you get Aparavidya also. So you should know what Aparavidya is before you get into the real answer. That is what Angiras means. In Aparavidya, what all things are included? The Veda, like the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda and Samaveda, Atharva Veda, all the Vedas. The Vedangas, like the Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chandas, Yodisha, all are coming under Aparavidya only. None of these specialized systems of knowledge belong to Paravidya. Paravidya is that by which one reaches the Akshara Brahman. That alone is Paravidya. Veda Vedanga are only Aparavidya. To cross the dark ocean of these worlds, we have to reach the plane of wordless pranava, which is enlightened samadhi state. This Svanubhuti alone is Paravidya. The dry scholarship in any branch of knowledge, whether it be modern or ancient, is only Aparavidya. The self-experience or Svanubhuti along with scholarship is what makes one a Sarvajna. So for reaching Akshara Brahma Pada, one needs Vairagya. Vairagya alone leads to experience of Brahman. When one communicates about the unseen, unmanifested Brahman to a person who has no experience of it, one has to start from the opposite Vidya, that is known and definable Aparavidya. Through that only one can reach Paravidya, since it is indefinable and unmanifested. That is the importance of Veda and Vedanga in an educational syllabus or curriculum of the ancient people of India. Now, the bold or the Dhira see everywhere that which is unseen, unknown, without a gotra, without varna, without eye, without ear, feet or hand, the eternal Lord and omnipresent, subtlest, the origin and cause of all elements. To see something that is unseen, to hear something that is unheard, to cognize the uncognizable, to learn something without a gotra from people with gotra, to know avarna from the varnashrama dharma, to meditate the formless, eyeless, earless, feetless, handless thing, the nirakara, as something with all these, the sakara. Thus, start from the easy, which may appear contradictory, but it is not actually contradictory. This is what every scientist and every child has to proceed with. You can't teach the absolute to the masses except through this method. By step, the child, the student has to get the energy source of all universes and beings revealed in everything. Only then one can think about the Niragara. By seeing the unmanifested in all the manifested, the person knows everything. Only when the answer to Shaunaka's question is obtained, the last only. Varna is the dharma of gross objects. Whatever is subtlest appear as avarna or colorless. Varna is thus a quality of the gross body and not of subtle Atman. Body has organs. To have no body or no organ is to be called an ananga, or the subtle with no organs. And then that subtle can exist in everything alike. Then it is a Sahasra Mugha, Sahasra Netra, etc. That is that which has no organs, have organs everywhere and in everything. And a Sarvajna see nothing but God in everything, everywhere, at all times. This Virat Purusha or Vishwarupa is the most important aspect of God. God is thus the Yajna Purusha, who does all, who enjoys all, and manifests in all as Atman, in every man, in every woman, in animal, bird, and every element, in every atom, in every subatomic particle. The Brahman alone exists. This Rasalila of the Atman in all bodies, in all the elements, is the symbolic subject of several Bhakti Prasthana in India. For Atman, there is no organ, so it is Ananga. Ananga is called a Kama Rupa, no? Ananga is Kama Rupa, can take any form as it desires. Brahma also is an Ananga. It can take any form according to its desire. That is why it is called a Kama Rupa. How this earth is the yoni or womb of all the moving and non-living things. In the same way, the energy fields of the subtle nature is the yoni for all the universes, all the Brahmanda, and all the beings on all the Brahmanda. To directly perceive that Brahma yoni, only a bold or a dhira one has the stamina. And in Garga Samhita, all the Gopa and Gopi are the heirs of Krishna and of Radha. This has to be taken in the same meaning. All the beings and their bodies are hairs from Goloka. Only when we sacrifice the hairs, we merge back in where we came from. So the shaving of the head by the Bhrigu or Bharadwaja Gotra is just to symbolize a mental sacrifice of all mundane things related to gross body and the gross universe. Now, a beautiful example is given here. A spider, Urnanabhi, a spider creates paste from its own body and makes a web, then reabsorbs it back. Similarly, from earth, the plants and trees and herbs come out, go back, and again come out. In the same way, from the Purusha, the hairs grow and fall off. The universes happen from Akshara in the same way. So such a simile is used. The seen fields of universes are considered as the mandal or field of the samsara. The unseen subtle fields of energy are the fields of the Sara. Sara is a word, the essence. Sara means essence. Sara or essence is a word which we can read as Karoshti to get Rasa and Rasa also. Sara, Sara, Rasa, Rasa. The mandala of Rasa and Rasa, when enjoyed, experienced, one has attained liberation from the samsara or the gross worlds. Sri Ramakrishna Deva said to sacrifice the sam from samsara and take only the sara, in this sense only. The Brahmanda, the universes, originated from Brahman, not at the same time, not simultaneously. Shankara explains that they were formed at different periods of times, in different orders. This is in accordance with the modern scientific view also, because we find some of the star clusters relatively new and others very ancient. Now, how did this Srishti or creation happen? Vishwakarma explains that Brahman increased by tapas, heat, and from that food was created, the annam, food was created from the heat. Prana, the breath and winds, and the mind were formed by food. Therefore, this world of 5 elements is the truth. From it, the karma, the actions, the functions makes eternity. The subtle Brahman is the bliss, Anandamaya, and is within the Anna, within the Mana, within the Prana, within the Vijnana. The bliss is within food, within the mind, within the breath, within the knowledge. They are coverings, as we saw in Taittiriya Upanishads. That seed of Brahman, the knower of Brahman is the Brahmavid. It has 2 meanings. Brahmavid means the seed of Brahman and also the knower of Brahman. By the heat, by the austerity, the knower of Brahman become expanded. He sees the expansile universe within himself, and from this a new system of food, water, life and breath with mind and knowledge springs up, were created. The swelling is due to heat and the rasa or essence of the action, function, and this scientific truth is given beautifully. When there is a desire for creativity, the blissful Brahman creates a cell of food around it, and in it the breath and mind, the nervous bioenergy, are created. So it is not a body taking a soul, but a soul making a body around it as a covering, as an avarana. The concept is very different from the Western viewpoint. This creation and the 7 worlds from it are true functions and not untruth. From the seed of Brahman, which is truth, the tree of worlds created also has to be truth. The karma and the function started with creation, and this continued the worlds thus created. Thus the continuity of creation of worlds and functions or karma is happening eternally without an end. Only because of the eating of the food, the karma or the functions, the creativity and rebirths happen. If you don't take food, you don't grow up. No? Therefore, then there will not be any karma. If there is no karma, if there is no action, there will not be any reaction. Therefore, with creation of food itself, the 3 phenomena of death, rebirth and eternity of afterbirths happen simultaneously. Prana is the Hiranyagarbha. What about mind? Brahma was Amana. Amana is a word, wherever we find Amana on any ancient places, the modern historians think that it is a Shramana. Shramana or Shamana is different from Amana. Amana means that without any mind. That is only Brahma. Shamana is that with a Shama, who has developed Shama. So Amana and Shamana are 2 words in India. Amana means Brahma. We find only Amana everywhere, not Shamana. Shamana we haven't found on any script, but historians wrongly construe it as Shramana. It's not Shramana. Amana means that which is mindless, that is Brahma. When the mind is made, it is made of Sankalpa, Vikalpa, Samshaya, Nirnaya, Adhyatma, that is imagination, contradictions, doubts, decisions, spirituality, everything is there in the quality of mind. From such a mind, the worlds called Sathya, Satya Loka, or true worlds made of the 5 elements, like the Akasha, is formed. The Vyakriti Loka of Bhu, Bhuvar, Suvar, Mahar, etc. are formed in this way from the mind. All these are Panchabhuthatmaga, made of 5 elements. Therefore, they are all truths. In these worlds, several pranis, the beings with prana or life, including human beings, which have a varna and are classified as a gotra, a class or family. These are morphological classifications due to differentiated and special prani dharma, the properties of life. These classifications are by a human mind only, for easy understanding, for cognition. It's not religion actually, it is for cognition, cognitive phenomenon. These type of classifications are needed in any science. This is science, not religion. I underline that word. This is not religion, this is science, the science of classification, and categorization for understanding, for awareness of the world, for the karma or the function of all these beings. Equal effects according to karma or reactions were created without the end. That is, karma action, there is a karma phala, which is a reaction created by the action. That will not end. To every action it should go on repeating, just as the law of Newton said in a different way. To every action there is an equivalent and opposite reaction. That is it. Karma theory is only that. It's a classical mechanic theory. Therefore, along with karma, actions, functions, rebirths for experiencing the reactions of one's own karma or one's own actions, and the creation of the prani or the creation of the life, being with the life, become naturally mandatory. Thus the entire cycle become eternal, a cyclic repetition happens.